Don't say time to go. No, I know you got some to spare. We've been fighting feeling when it's obvious that we both can. So take me to the moon. Be with the stars. Send me into orbit. Send me spin.
Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. It is Galaxy Venus with episode 4 of the Eccentric Erotic Podcast. I am so happy to be here with y'all once again. I'm not going to say I'm a day late, but yesterday I went to an open mic. I got invited, somebody... they said, come bless the mic. And I could not refuse. I have not been to an open mic in so long because I've been doing my own things, curating my showcases and whatnot. So today is not our regular date or day because we're here on Wednesdays. But nevertheless, we are here. And we are ready to talk about your desires, your wants, and your needs working in harmony. Because they should be the same things. Like for me, there's no difference. So many people are caught up in what their type is. When it comes to getting to know people, when people are trying to court you, especially because most dating is kind of like we meet people on social media for the most part. Is it anybody meeting people off of social media these days? I know there are dating apps. I've never did the dating app thing, but I know something that is really popular unless it done got played out because I'm out of the loop. I'm like an old lady for real. But a lot of times people will ask you what your type is. What type of man are you looking for? What type of woman are you looking for? And from my experiences, most times when people get asked that question, their answer is something aesthetic or what I like to call superficial. Most women will say their type is a tall man with the beard, or some women prefer bald man with the beard. I want a bald man with a long beard, and he got to be over 6 feet, and da 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 this and da 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 that. And automatically, when I hear that, I think to myself, okay, that's your type, but does that have anything to do with what you desire in a mate? What's necessary for you to have in a mate as far as what you need, what's going to sustain you? Because him being 6'5" is not going to be sustaining. That's just pleasing for people to look at. A lot of times we get wrapped up in what somebody looks like, opposed to what they can do for us. So for me personally, my type, ask me what my type is. Somebody that's loving, somebody that's caring, somebody that is supportive, somebody that is kind, somebody that is mature, somebody that knows how to handle their anger, someone that is compassionate. So that is my type. It really doesn't matter what they look like because I'm not turned on by what people may call eye candy. I had a homegirl yesterday sent me a video of some Instagram man, TikTok man. He was tall, he had muscles, he had long locks, and he was the type of man that an average woman, or I would call a simple woman, not judging, I'm not trying to judge, but women would be like, oh my God, she's so fine. But I was like, okay, and like, it didn't do nothing for me because I'm not turned on by outer things. I like, it's all about what's on the inside for me. So when I say that your wants, your desires, and your needs should be working in harmony, I say that because if you want a man that's tall, that's maybe light skin, dark skin, whatever your preference is, long hair, short hair, bald, beard, bare face, whatever that is, muscular, whatever that is, if it's aesthetics, that should work in harmony to what you desire from the man that looks that way. We just can't desire somebody or want somebody that looks a certain way, because what's going to happen if their looks don't sustain them the rest of their life? I used to tell people all the time when I was younger, and people used to be like, you so pretty, I like you. And I would say, well, you know, what if I got into a car accident and my face got smashed? Am I pretty on the outside or am I pretty on the inside? Because if you just see my outside beauty, anything can happen to that. People become victims of fires all the time. So God forbid, I used to tell them, if I ever got into a fire and my body was burned or my face was burned, would I still be pretty? Because you talking about how I look, but anything can happen to that. People develop skin diseases and skin conditions as they get older. What if I get a skin condition? Then what? So I'm not me personally. I don't care a lot about looks. I've dated cross-eyed people. That is hilarious. I've dated quite a few cross-eyed people. I was in a relationship with a person that had one eye and didn't wear a patch. He literally has one eye. I'm not gonna be funny and say I've dated all kind of creatures, but I've dated some very, very interesting people. But they had substance to them. The relationship was what it needed to be and taught me what I needed to learn and helped me to grow and elevate into the lovely woman that I am today. And I'm grateful for that. So for me, it's more about what can you bring to me as far as sustaining who I am as a being. Is somebody saying something? I see the little, what's that? It's like the little alien sign. Peace, hello, thank you for joining. I appreciate you for tuning in. I can't see your name. With my glasses on or off, it is difficult for me to see tonight. So please forgive me for not being able to see. No, the glasses make it worse. But I appreciate you for tuning in. Let's see. Desires, wants, and needs working in harmony. A lot of time, we as people, when we are just focused on what we want as far as aesthetics, what's pleasing to us, what's going to make us feel good as a person, and amongst our peers, we don't really get what we need when we're focusing on those things. Um, hey, now I love me some music now, but I think a lot of the main problem for relationships is that we're not focusing on what our desires and what our needs are. Um, I need a person that can encourage me when I'm feeling low. And that is important for me. I need a person that is understanding and compassionate because I deal with um, depression and bipolar disorder. So when I'm manic and I'm just like off on a wild tangent and I'm in that mode, I need someone that is caring and understanding. Like, okay. So when it comes to that, it don't matter if they're short or tall, because being short or tall is not going to do anything for me when if I'm crying and I need to be consoled or something like that. I don't want to be repetitive. Um, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. The music that is playing in the background, um is that on purpose?
Yeah, so just a little background music. Just a little background music.
I get distracted with stuff like
All
that.
right,
I don't really
I'll turn it
I
down.
don't
I'll turn it down a little bit more.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I got
Um
you.
let's see. Gotta get my bearings about myself. I wanted to do some poetry tonight. I'm not quite sure if I am prepared. We are in, I am not, I don't follow the social norm and like what society be doing. I be on my own wave. So I really don't do the Valentine's Day thing. I don't do the Black History Month thing. I don't do the New Year's thing. I don't do the Christmas thing. I don't do none of that. But with today's topic being your desires, your wants, and your needs, working in harmony, I wanted to do some poetry. So I'm gonna see if I can dig one out that I have memorized that would fit the title. And I'm a little nervous because I'm so unprepared, and that is so not cool. Somebody has joined the panel. Thank you so much, darling. I'm having a hard time seeing tonight without my glasses, but welcome. I appreciate you. Let me see if I can do a poem real quick. Let's see. Ay, 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 ay. Ha! Think I may have cashed the check or wrote a check that my ass can't cash. Um, I want to know what your sensual energy is like. I can't freaking remember. Never doggone mine. Boy, I tell you, yeah, I'm gonna just leave that alone. It's been a day. I'm gonna spit for y'all though, real soon. Y'all gonna get a chance to see how dope I am. And that just made me really, really hot because I hate fucking up my pieces. I am too dope for that. We are going to welcome, say your name for me, darling, because I can barely see and my glasses are not making it better. Um,
Yes, the one and only Jamo Smile.
yes, I remember you from a few weeks ago. I'm glad to see you back again. How are you this evening?
Well, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
So tonight's discussion and topic is your wants, your needs, and your desires should be the same things working in harmony. What do you have to say about that? Do you have some thoughts about that?
My wants, my needs, and my desire. Ah, boy. So, it's so interesting.
Very much so. I was saying earlier that a lot of times, especially when it comes to relationships and dating and things like that, a lot of people we think about what we want that's pleasing to the eye or what's going to be satisfactory to society as far as how somebody looks. When we have somebody that quote unquote looks good or looks a certain way, it makes us feel good, and so we typically want to go for something that's pleasing to the eye. And so if someone was to ask a man what is their type, a guy typically I hear men say, I like women with long hair. I like curvy women. Or some men would say, I want a slim woman with curves. Or some men would say, I want a slim woman with curves.
Everybody have their preference, boy.
I personally believe that we need to move away from when it comes to what is our type for us to not lead with physical sight and what's pleasing to the eye. My type is somebody that's going to treat me with respect. Like seriously, if you ask me what my type is, I'm going to say somebody that is kind and loving and sincere, somebody that is honest. I have never led with somebody that is tall, dark, and handsome, or somebody that is, back in the day, we all knew about, women had this thing about he had to be light skinned with good hair. I want somebody with some good hair. Like, what the hell? That is absolutely ridiculous to me. And for us to be in the time that we are now, this big year of 2026, for us to still be leading with what we want and what we desire in a mate for something that is physical, I just think it's ludicrous. Like it's time out to be searching for partners based off what they look like. It's just it's too superficial for me.
So, I normally tell people, if you're looking for somebody just for you, you either need to go to Domino's or KFC. There's nobody perfect. There is no match. You see somebody, you're crazy enough to say, bye. I could see myself spending the rest of my life with you. Or somebody say, you might be a little messed up in the head, but I feel a little more secure and, with him, Those are the stuff I cannot look at. Yeah.
I think for the most part, we don't consider what is truly important to us. Um, and I think maybe maturity that has a lot to do with maturity and our life experiences. We just get caught up with so many things that are superficial and not important that we don't focus on what's going to help me to be a better person or who can I truly build a life with. When we think about what our goals are in life, that's when we tend to focus more on um, our desires and our wants and our needs being in harmony. Because for me, they're not different things. Um, I was thinking about somebody could say, well, for a man, I want a woman that has no children. I want a woman that I want a woman um that is light skinned, has long hair, this, that, and the other. That's what I want. What I desire is for a woman to be able to cook. I hope she can cook because that's what I desire. But I need a woman to be caring or be submissive or be respectful. And so those are completely different things when they shouldn't be. Now, if you need a woman that is respectful, then that should be your desire. Because a respectful woman you can teach to cook. We can't do anything about our skin complexion, and like, you know, we not what people call celebrities, the way they be taking melanin out their skin and whatever the heck they got going on. I'm not touching that right now, but we can always do something about our physical appearance, you know, whether it be to gain weight or to lose weight. And so too many times we're just too hung up on how a person looks, other than what we need in life from a partner. And those things should always work in harmony. I'm going to always go, and I can't stress this enough, I'm going to always go with, how can I build a life with somebody? If I can't build a life with you, I don't care what you look like and how much you make, because you can look good to me, so to speak. Well, people look good to me when they have character. Your character is what makes you fine to me, what makes you handsome, what makes you sexy, not just, you know, muscles and nice skin complexion. I've never been a superficial person, and it's a little weird. You know, I was saying earlier, my homegirl sent me this video and she was like, you know, I just wanted to send you some eye candy. And I was like, but that's not eye candy to me. Like, I'm not caught up on that. So it did absolutely nothing for me. It's very simple-minded, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to judge people, but it's just simple to get so hung up in a person just by how they look. Like, I question a person's maturity and their depth as a being if that's the only thing you can get aroused by. Like, nah, that don't work for me.
Yeah, see, we as modern day people, including me, you know, we get caught up with the emotions. You see somebody like, ooh, damn boy, she looking fine. You know, our emotions, you know, cloud our good judgment. You know, you have to find, you know, certain times you have to find out on your own. You know, have conversations and, you know, have go places together and try to figure out if this person here is, how can I say right? Because nobody is right, nobody is wrong. There is no right person for you, there is no wrong person for you. So you gotta just figure out, am I crazy enough to trust this person to spend the rest of my life with? Or I just need more information.
Have you ever asked someone what was their type?
I don't think so. I don't, because when people ask me what is my type,
I was getting ready to. Okay. So what is your type?
but the thing about it, I know what I like. But the thing about it, all of that doesn't mean anything. If I hang, if I love some, if I see somebody and I'm like, I love the long hair or the red lips, that doesn't matter. That I have an emotional attachment to that. But well, I might have a little emotional attachment, but in the long run ahead, it can't take you nowhere. You have to find things to, long lasting, play the long game. So if you ask me what is my type, basically I don't have a type. Yes, I might have a list in my head of like, I like this, I like that. But when I come down to the real matter, I would be like, nah, boy, you're looking at it in the emotional eyes. You need to sit down and try to figure out, talk, spend a little time, ask people around all questions and them kind of stuff.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because that took me back to a time in my life where I used to say the same thing. I used to say I don't have a type. And I was saying that because I give people that I can actually, if I can hold a conversation with you, I'll give you a chance as far as getting to know you, to see what kind of substance and depth you have to you as a person or a being. So at the time I didn't have a type. Now I have realized since then, because this was maybe about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. And going back a little bit further, but I do realize now that I really do have a type. But my type is based off what I need and who I'm compatible with. I love nerdy guys. So I would say my type is a nerdy man, an intellectual man, a spiritual man. Well, let me not just say man, I'll say person because I date men and women. So my type is someone that is nerdy, someone that is intellectual, someone that is spiritual or self-aware, mature. Of course, I can't stress maturity enough because if you are not mature, it ain't gonna work. If you're not intelligent, it's not gonna work because I can't deal with somebody that don't know how to hold a conversation. I'm going to get bored. I'm going to look at you all kinds of crazy because there's a time for everything. We can be ghetto in the house, but if you don't know how to act in public and all you know is niggerish shit, then no, you're not for me, boo. So that's typically the people that I'm compatible with, that I attract in my life and that I tend to date. There are people that are very knowledgeable about multiple things. They're multifaceted people. So that's my type because that's what speaks to me as a person, not because that's what I go looking for. I don't go looking for somebody that's intellectual. I don't go looking for somebody that is considered nerdy. That's just what enters into my stratosphere, so to speak.
Yeah, there is a problem with that, but at the same time, all that is just the physical aspect of it. But just the physical, you have to be connected mentally and spiritually, not only physically. If you just depend on physical, there is no connection at all.
Most definitely. Now, when I mentioned my type, I didn't mention any physicalities, if I'm not mistaken. So those people come in all kinds of shapes, sizes, and looks. As a matter of fact, true story, a little bit of a funny story. I was kind of known for dating people that most people called unattractive. And when I was younger, People say I do a lot better now. It's so funny. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm very transparent, so I can't believe I'm saying it. But people used to be like, "You date ugly guys." Like everybody you in a relationship with be ugly, but they wasn't ugly to me. Like beauty is from within. And so if I can connect with you, if I see the good in you, um if we have not necessarily something in common, but when I am compatible with someone, I don't see them for who they are on the outside. I see from the inside out. And so I knew what people were saying when they were saying I date ugly people, but it's like, come on, man, stall me out. Like they had good hearts. These people were a match for me for a reason. I chose them for a reason, and they was all right with me. I didn't care what people thought or how I was criticized and judged or even kind of laughed at. Like, damn, you can't find nobody better than that. At the same time, these people that they were calling ugly, I never once complained about how they were treating me in the relationship. I never once, talked about, oh, they're cheating or they don't treat me with respect or I've never been hit or physically abused in a relationship. But the same people that would laugh and snicker off to the side that my boyfriend was ugly, these folks was going through all kind of hell in their relationships. But it's like, okay, keep picking these fine Negroes that look good but ain't good for you. Like, knock it off.
We as modern the people, and, and me also, I fall for the trap too. We look at this physical things, the hip. Oh, my, I love her hips. But those things doesn't matter. If the person treating me right, have respect, that's all you need. And you need nothing else.
You know what the issue is? People are really, really shallow, and they like to be entertained. Spirit just spoke to me and told me this. So thank you, Spirit. I appreciate that. We use relationships for entertainment and not for growth. We're supposed to be growing in our relationships and growing with our partners. But a lot of us just want to be entertained. We want somebody to amuse us and make us feel good. And we just so shallow. And so when it comes to entertainment, most people find the most ridiculous things entertaining. And that's why we're not having enough substance in our relationships. That's why we're unhappy. That's why we're complaining. That's why men got 1,000 things that are wrong with women that they don't like. And while women got 5,000 things that are wrong with men that they don't like, because we're in relationships for entertainment and we're not even realizing it. We just want somebody to make us feel good. And the moment we stop feeling good, we like, this ain't entertaining anymore. It's not fun. And you get a chance to see who this person really is. But when we choose someone that is in harmony, that's working with our desires and our needs being the same thing, then you're automatically entertained. The relationship is fun and it's happy, and you're finding things to do together because you're compatible and you're growing. Oh my gosh, I thank Spirit for revealing that to me.
I agree. I 100% agree. We as modern day people, including me, we have relationship as entertainment. Some people have it like Pornhub. Some people just here to there from one girl to a next girl or next man to a next man. This whole thing is a mess. Nobody have, yeah?
And when we're doing that, we're not realizing that what the pattern is. I remember at a time in my life, I'm like, okay, what is going on? I know what I want and what I need and what my desires were, but they weren't working in harmony. I wasn't getting what I needed, what I desired, and what I want. And this was when I didn't even have a type. So even without picking somebody based on aesthetics, my desires, my wants, and my needs still wasn't working in harmony because I didn't have the maturity level to choose a partner that I was compatible with, that I can grow with. I had so much learning and growing myself to do. I had to learn who I was before I could choose a partner that was suitable for me. And so that is important also. Because if we don't know who we are and what we truly, truly need and how we can be in a sustainable, healthy relationship, it's like you said, it's going to be one relationship after another, and it'll be failed, and we won't know what the heck happened. And it's like, well, I thought he was the one, and this was fine for the first month or for the first 3 months, and then I, I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, I will tell you this. The person who go from relationship to relationship, well, he have a lot of experience,
Mm.
but still not getting information.
I can attest to that. I've been there, experienced that, sure enough. But because of that experience, it did teach me a lot, and I was able to actually come into the knowledge that I needed once I was able to take a step back and be like, okay, let me just look at this and put all the pieces of the puzzle together, so to speak. Like, what's going on here? We
But the
have to
more,
pay attention to the things that are going on in our lives and not be so busy trying to live life, but to actually experience it. And I don't think we can experience life properly if we are not paying attention and learning in it and through it and from it.
of course, because sometimes you're in a situation and it just keep repeating itself. And you're wondering, why is this happening to me? Because when sometimes something happening to you for the longest while, maybe it take a year or a couple months for you to realize, you're like, yo, this thing keep happening to me over and over and over. What I'm doing wrong? You know, you have to go study behind the study and see, like, yo, what happening, man? So, them stuff is happening.
There was an old saying when I was religious and really just I won't well I'll say for me personally, I was caught up and wrapped up in religion, but there was a saying that was going around in the church: you got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so when I think about certain things that are happening in our lives and we like, okay, well, this keeps happening over and over and it's repetitive and you don't like it, you have to really, really get tired of the same old, same old. For real, for real. I tell people all the time, we are kidding ourselves if we say, I'm ready for a good man, for a woman. I'm ready to have a good man in my life. You cannot say you're ready to have a good man in your life if you have not taken the time out to dissect why you haven't had one thus far, up until whatever period in your life you're at. If you have not taken the time out to be like, okay, why haven't I had a good man to the point where I have to say I'm ready for a good man? But everybody that you date, you complain about, oh, he's this, he's that, he ain't this, and he ain't that. You're lying to yourself. You're not ready for a good man. Because when you're truly ready for a good man, you're going to do something about it. You're going to make some changes. You're going to make sure that you are implementing everything that you need to implement in your life to make room for that good man to enter your life. No difference with a guy. I'm just ready for a good woman. I'm tired of these women. I'm tired of these gold diggers. Oh, let me talk about that one right there. Men that say I'm tired of women that just want me for my money. Are you really, sir? How are you attracting these women, sir? Because if you are not doing anything differently to not attract these women, you ain't tired yet. Because you haven't figured out what may be necessary to not attract a woman like that. Are you getting gold diggers because you're looking for the woman with the big boobs and the big hips and the fat ass? Is she the gold digging woman? I don't know. I'm just saying. But the point I'm making is we have to dissect our lives. We have to go within ourselves and look at the picture of, okay, I chose them because of that. I stayed with them because of this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, and just begin to do things differently.
You know, it kind of remind me of a piece of a poem that I wrote. I want to go with the first line. I could feel it in my soul, the connection of another being. Such beauty I behold. It feels like my heart is in prison, trapped by another being.
I like that.
The thing about it, right? As long as you're not connected to somebody spiritually, your being, or whatever call it, your soul, your spirit, whatever people just call it, as long as you're not connected to each other, you wouldn't last.
Well, when I think about that, I think about, how do we connect with people? Do most people even know how to connect? I think a lot of us still are afraid of connection, truly, because we've been hurt. And so we're shielded, and we think the shield is a protection. But the same way we shield ourselves from letting people in or putting something out, nothing can come in either. So that shield works both ways. It can block your blessing. It can stop you from connecting and truly receiving what it is what you need in life.
Yeah. And, you know, we as modern day people, including me, we get stuck in this technology thing, and we see we follow celebrities. Yes, a lot of people follow celebrities. We just throw away the old, well, I won't say old, but normal things that make things work, like cooking together. She may start the pot, put on the fire, you can put up the onions, and she do something, she cut the garlic, do things together before what, and stuff like that. The traditional things, we throw them out of the door. The more you spend time together, you know, more the tighter the connection is.
Absolutely. I think about, I tell people a lot of times, if you are hurt to the point to where you don't trust a person that you've entered into a relationship with, and you don't have a reason not to trust them specifically, you have no business being in a relationship. It is unfair to enter into a union, and just because every relationship you've had prior to that, the person was deceitful in some kind of way. If you have not recovered from that to where you are willing to open up your heart to say, regardless of what I've been through in those past 5 relationships, that has nothing to do with you specifically. If I am not ready, if someone is not ready to open up their heart in that way, they should not, they're not fit to be in a relationship, because you're going to always hold that person captive to what other people have done. Now, they could be guilty of the same thing, they may not be. However, it's still unfair if they have not given you any just cause to find them untrustworthy, for you to just enter into a relationship and be like, I don't trust nobody, I never give my heart fully to somebody again. Well, what the hell you in a relationship for? Just mess around safely, of course. And I said it and I meant it. Mess around with people. Don't enter into a committed relationship knowing you got trust issues. That is so unfair to the person you are entering into a relationship with. um if you feel like a person has to prove themselves before you completely give your heart, don't be in a relationship. Just mess around, have fun, do what you do, and go on about your merry way, because you setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, and the most important thing that well, I'm losing my thoughts here, boy. Ah, boy, hard work. I'm working all using my brain. Um, Give me a minute. Let me catch my thought.
Oh, it happens. I completely understand. I had a moment earlier where I lost my train of thought also. And I was gonna do a poem, and I was like, nope, I ain't gonna be able to do it. Never mind. I'm glad I don't get easily embarrassed, because that would have been embarrassing as hell. We have somebody else while you're um tracing your steps to get back to your thoughts. Somebody else has joined the panel. Thank you so much. I'm having a hard time seeing because my eyesight is acting crazy this evening. But welcome, beloved. How are you? Thank you for joining. We are talking about your type, your desires, and your needs being the same thing, working in harmony with one another. Do you have any thoughts to share about that, darling?
Can you hear me?
I can
Loud and
now.
clear.
Introduce
Uh,
yourself, darling. Welcome to the panel.
oh, how y'all doing? The name's Hustler and Muscular, also known as H&M, dropping gems, stomping harder than a pair of Timbs.
All right, now that's a hell of a damn introduction.
Oh, you're damn right.
Oh, you okay? I know you got something to say. Come on with it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You said something about having a type. Well, I feel the same way. I don't have a type. My type is just anyone that's nice, calm, respectful, or loving for me. I don't care about the race. I don't care about the family background. Also, it's a clean background, black, white, Asian. I don't care. To me, it's about the person.
You better say
I,
that.
I guess I'm just an open-minded person.
But see, that's the thing. Open-minded people tend to receive, in my from my experiences, we tend to receive more of what we truly desire and need in life because we're open-minded, because we don't necessarily have a type, and we go with, you know, what who we're compatible with, and what we need when what we need from a partner, or what we need in life and what we desire in life, when that is working in harmony with what we want, then what we want becomes our type. That's what the type is. We were talking about that earlier. I said the same exact thing. My type is someone that is respectful and compassionate and loving and mature and thoughtful and kind and supportive. They can
Yeah, well,
look any kind of way as long as they possess those qualities. Because
I mean, to
if you're not looking a certain way that may be pleasing to me at first sight, we can work on that. You got bad teeth. God damn it, I got double teeth. I've been needing braces all of my life. We can eventually get our teeth fixed. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You got a bald spot. And you don't like your bald spot, it's something we can do. They got hair growth serums. We gonna find some herbs that's gonna fill in that bald spot in your head if you don't like your doggone bald spot. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like your weight, whether you want to gain weight, I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna get you some supplements. We gonna get your weight up. I did that with a man one time. He was skinny as I don't know what. I was like, "Ooh, this man, he looks sickly skinny, like a pitiful little thing." Well, that man got
Well,
in a
to your
relationship
point,
with me. We
well,
got
to
into a
your point, at
relationship.
least. I'm sorry to
Say
cut you
that
off, but
again.
I said to your point, at least you're willing to work with people who may have some sort of flaw, whether it be a physical or a mental flaw. Most folks nowadays would be like, "You're not my type." On to the next. Like, you got all the options in the world. I'm like, seriously. I mean, sometimes I think we need to stop limiting our type to just the physical. My physical type is a short, thick woman. 5'2", 5'3", short and thick. That's how I like it. But if you're tall and thick, like 5'7" or 5'6", I can work with that. I dated a chick who was 5'9" in regular shoes anyway, but when she took them shits off, she about 5'7".
I like to consider myself a person of depth. I'm a very intricate person, and so, in my opinion, there aren't too many things about me that are shallow. Um,
Yep.
and when it comes to romance and dating, because I am the term that is, it's a newly discovered term, pansexual. It's like you have to appeal in some way to me intellectually. Um, we have to have some kind of connection, and so I've just never been a shallow, like typical person that based off looks. You said something, and I had mentioned it early. Most of what our type is not what we need in a person, and oftentimes we don't get what we need because we're trying to get what we want, and those things, thus the title of the subject for tonight, they have to work in harmony with one another. I can find what I want in what I need, but a lot of times you can't find what you need in what you want. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They go for their wants opposed to their needs, and they're not working in harmony with one another. They're not the same thing. They are separating those things. I can find somebody that is compassionate and thoughtful and caring and loving and mature, and they can be what my actual type is. My type is somebody that is intellectual, that is nerdy. I don't particularly like tall men. I'm only 5 foot.
What? You don't
I do
like
not
tall
like
men?
tall. I don't like tall men. it don't do nothing for me. I'd rather not have a tall man. Give me somebody that is no taller than 5'7" and I'm good. 6
I'm
feet
fine.
and over is like you too tall for me. I don't want it.
Well, that's a rarity because nowadays a height requirement is 6 feet tall. I don't need
I
nobody.
can't stand it. I can't stand it. I'm not gonna count somebody out because they're 6 feet tall or over. I'm just not into somebody that's tall. Like, no, I'm cool. But when I see a
Okay.
5'7" man, hey, how you doing? It,
How tall are you,
it
by
does
the
it
way?
for me. How old am
I
well,
said tall.
how wise am I? I don't use the word old. I am 46 years of age.
I said tall, not.
Oh, tall. I'm 5'4 3/4".
Yep, that's my type. That's how I like them. Short and beautiful. And by the way, you got about 5 years on me. You got 5 years on me in age. Yeah.
Over 40. Most of us that are over 40 tend to know what we need from a partner. That's if we have taken the time out to pay attention to the things that didn't work. We were saying earlier that to do the same things and want different results is like we got to pay attention to what hasn't been working. I used to be a serial dater. And it got to a point to where I'm like, okay, I'm not getting what I need. What is the problem? A lot of times, we as people say, I'm tired of dating this kind of man. I'm tired of this and da 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 this and da 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 that. Where if you're tired of it, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? We have to take the time to dissect why these relationships are not working, why we're not being fulfilled in our relationships. And once I did that, I started having more meaningful connections, and it's been a beautiful thing. I'm loving the journey and the ride.
Yep.
But again, as far as your type, your desires, and your needs being the same thing, working in harmony, if someone has a type, let's just say for you, you say your type is somebody that is short, thick, and cute. If what your type and okay, so let me ask you this: what do you desire in a woman? You stated what your type is, but what do you desire? Is it the same as what your type is? Your desire is a woman that is shorter in height and a certain aesthetic. What are your desires?
Oh, he
Are
gone
you
asleep?
still there?
I stepped away, but I'm still here. What's going on? I heard what you said. Yeah, I was paying attention in and out.
Okay, so I was getting ready to bring together how our thoughts, our desires, and our needs should be the same thing, working in harmony. And so I posed the question to you: is what your type in women is and your desire the same thing? Like, what are your desires in a woman or from a woman? Is it the same as what your type is, just to be like short, cute, and thick?
Something like that. But usually the females that fit the physical type, they don't fit I don't know, every other type. Like, yeah, she's fun to talk to, but a relationship that won't work. I've met several like that. I know what my type is. I can have a 10-minute conversation and be like, you sound like you my type. You could be my type.
So would you say that your type and your desire is not the same thing, or is it the same thing? Because you said it's pretty much the same. But if it's the same, it doesn't sound like it's working in harmony because you're not getting what you need from, you saying your type, she's not really compatible for you. And that happens too often. It only happens when those things are not working in harmony with one another. And just like you stated when you first came up, when we lead with, as far as choosing a partner, when we lead as far as what our type is with what we're physically attracted to, most times we're not going to get what we desire and what we need when that comes first. If we lead with the latter and work to the former, then we tend to have a better chance in getting what we need from a partner. Too many times, most people, we focus on what we physically want in a partner, and that's never going to work. Well, I won't never say never, but most times it's too superficial to have something substantial, because we get caught up in the physicalities, and it's like, okay, they look good, but just like you said, after talking to them, it's like, nah, I'm good. I'll pass. But we can find somebody that meets our desires or our needs. Let me ask you, what do you need in a partner?
What do I need in a partner? Cooperation. I need respect. I need someone that's going to motivate me and uplift me when I'm down. I need someone that's going to be there for me. If I get sick, I can always count on you to take care of things. And when I get back on my feet, I'm taking care of things. No one that's going to trust me to be the man in a relationship, or just don't deal with me at all. I find a good woman like that.
Have you ever had that so far in life, in a woman and a partner?
Yeah, I did.
Why was the "yeah, I did" like that? What's that tone? Talk to me.
It's just someone I dated in college, but it only lasted for 2 years.
College was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Two separate questions. Was what you needed in a woman, did you know you needed that at the time, or you just did you stumble upon that, or you knew that's what you needed at the time and you actually got what you needed?
I kind of did get what I needed.
Okay, so in getting what you need, was she your type?
Yep, and in almost every way.
Cool shit. Okay, so my other question is, I asked that question because at that time in your life, what your type and your desires and your needs, they were the same thing working in harmony. And that's why you were able to get what you needed, in my opinion.
Yep. But here's
I'm
something I
wondering.
noticed.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. Sorry to cut you off, but here's something I've noticed. Sometimes what you may desire is not the same thing that you deserve. There are some people who say they desire a good man, they desire a good woman, but do you deserve a good man or a good woman? And you honestly, I mean, anybody can say what they want, but not everyone deserves this.
Well, if we don't do the inner work to get what we desire, it's not going to happen anyway. I was just stating before you came up that we be kidding ourselves saying we want a good man, or when a man says I want a good woman, or I want a woman that don't just want me for my money, but every woman that you get, she always asking you to buy her something. My response was, when we truly don't want that anymore, when we are truly tired of it, we go within ourselves to find out what is it about us that keeps choosing partners that have that characteristic. So we could say all day long we want a good man, but we lying if we don't do what it takes, what's necessary to attract and choose a good man. So whether we deserve one or not, it ain't gonna happen if we don't do the work.
That's true too, but you got to keep in mind also, it's a lot of mofos in this world that don't know what the hell they want. Women and men alike.
We've talked
It'll
about
work.
that in a few other episodes on the podcast. Like that's a big one right there. But I
You
do
can
have a
do the
question
inner
for
work.
you. I want to get to.
You can do the inner work to improve yourself, but when you're surrounded by a bunch of people who just don't know what the hell they want, and it's like, what is it all for? I mean, you did it for yourself first and foremost, but your options are just not available.
But
They don't
divine
know what they
alignment bring that into your stratosphere. Your energy will emit something that will attract like a magnet, and it'll you'll pull towards that, and it'll gravitate towards you, and eventually, if you stay on that path, you will come across what you need and desire. Absolutely.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you, ma'am, or the gentleman up here, but I don't believe in all that. You are what you attract. Because sometimes you can be the opposite of what you attract. Let's say you're a man or woman that's doing all the work, improving themselves, that version of yourself, but you're attracting good rats and good boogers and thugged out type looking women. So you're a good man, but you're attracting the wrong kind of people for some reason, or you're just drawn to the wrong kind of people. You could be a man that's going down the right path, doing right by the Almighty High, got your life in order, but yet for Keisha with skiers finds you more attractive than Jessica over here who has no kids. You're getting more attention from the hood boogers than you are the the non-hood boogers or the righteous people. I've experienced that many times. I get more attention from women I have no business taking seriously, but they're good for a good time.
I know exactly what you mean. I want to say
Listen,
thank you.
when he talks, you got to mute your mic because there's a little echo.
Okay, thank you. I
On
appreciate
my
that.
on my side,
No, on mine. He's saying when you talk, I need to mute my mic because there's an echo on my side when you're speaking. Shoot, what was I getting ready to say? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I agree. I was not saying that we are what we attract. What I was saying was, what was I saying? Hold on. Let me get my thoughts together. When we do the inner work that we need to do, we will attract. Now we'll attract because light attracts everything. Think about a light bulb in the house or the sun, mosquitoes, and mosquitoes are blood suckers. So if you think about that in terms of relationships, when you are emitting light, then there are things that may try to attach itself to you. But just like mosquitoes or any kind of bugs, there is bug repellents. There is something you can do to repel those pests to where, even though they're attracted to you, they don't have to feed off you. You don't have to entertain that. In the same way, when you are doing the work that you need, not only will, what's the word you use? You didn't say booger sugar. What the heck did you say? I'm trying to think of the word, but you will attract. I truly believe that what you desire and what you need will eventually enter into your stratosphere. But you have to have the wisdom and the discernment to be like, to know that, okay, this person is worthy, or this person I'm compatible with. And everybody that is attracted to us, we don't have to entertain. That just real talk. I get a lot of people that try to get next to me. I am an erotic adult spoken word entertainer. I put on showcases. I be half naked. I be talking all kind of sexy, crazy, kinky things. My showcases are almost like swinger shows. Like it goes down in my shows.
what?
And so because of what I do professionally, there are people that they really do be trying me. And I'm like, pay attention not just to what I post as far as my shows, but You got to know how to read the room. I'm going to always greet somebody with a beloved or a darling or a sweetheart. Most easy women, in my opinion, don't really speak like that. Maybe that's just me, because all I hang around and be around is mature women. So I'm aware of how unaware people and immature women are, or easy women, how they behave, but that's not in my circle. So it's like, if you see me on social media and you're interested in me, check out how I really move, how I carry myself. Because just because I'm promoting my showcase don't mean that I'm easy to get to. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a promiscuous woman, but just because I'm promiscuous don't mean it's easy to get me. Like, it's levels to this
Promiscuous
shit.
woman. What? That could be a red flag for some people. Just saying. No offense. I'm just saying.
Ask me if I care.
Well, do you?
Hell no. If I did, I wouldn't have said it, because I'll be trying to look a certain way. I don't care about what it seems like or what it looks like. I am who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. And if it ain't for you, then peace to you. Like, you know, a lot of people, this is my favorite saying right now. Everybody always saying I'm not everybody's cup of tea. That may be true, but I'm not trying to make people drink my tea either. If I'm not your cup of tea, then you ain't got to order my drink. Drink what you like.
Yep, it's not your place to force people to do something they don't want to do, or feel like you have to chastise them. I've heard women say, "Oh, you can't handle a strong woman. Like, you can't handle me. You're too weak. Like, you're the problem." Oh, I'm just not your damn type. Ever thought about that? And you said something about who we entertain. I can attest to that, because over 20 years of my young life, yes, I've entertained women that I knew would never make a good wife for me, but that's what it was, fun. They weren't bad people in the sense of taken from you. Well, I had a few that did that, but they weren't the worst people in the world, but they did not scream future wife in my eye. They just weren't my type, wifey type. They were my type in other areas, physically, sexually, maybe mentally. So yes, I've entertained my fair share of women like that, but didn't turn to anything serious.
I did not have my comments on. I want to give honor to the people that have commented, that are watching in the chat. I appreciate you guys so much. I am new to StreamYard and YouTube and things like that, so I had to turn on the show the comments on the stage so I could see people that are commenting. So let me go through some of these comments so I can make sure that I am properly acknowledging you guys, because I appreciate you guys so much. Lighthouse 301 is saying hello. I love that alien thing. I don't know how to hear. I don't know how to do that, but I appreciate you. Hello. Let's see who else is in the chat. Braxton has snake eyes 24. They sent some emoji eyes, and he listened. I guess I don't know what you heard, but I'm glad you're here to hear it. Welcome. Let's see who else is in here. The real says blessings in abundance. Thank you, sweetheart. I beloved. I appreciate it. P Monsell Singer 700. Or just shave it off. What did we talk? What was we talking about that needs to be shaved off? I'm mad I missed that.
She was talking about the bald spot. Like, you mentioned something about a man having a bald spot. Well, I shave my head at least twice a week. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say once every 2 weeks I shave my head bald, so I ain't hair loss or anything. I will go bald if need be. So you see my picture, I'm bald. Well, it's AI avatar I made. It's bald.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you all for being okay. There's so many more comments. I'm so sorry I missed y'all comments. Please forgive me. I was not ignoring you guys. I didn't have the the comments that were showing, so I didn't know you guys were saying something. And my eyesight is like really, really blurry tonight. And I'm not
Oh
sure
boy.
what's up with that. But welcome. Thank you all so much for enjoying me. I want to ask the people that are in the chat, what are your experiences with asking people what their type is? Like, have y'all had the same experiences we've had with people leading with a physical attraction is what their type is? And have you had experiences, even in your own personal experiences, like when you think about your type, if you just think about what you're physically attracted to, how often do you get what you need from what your type is? The real SCE says most people don't. They sure don't. They don't have a freaking clue. And even if they know what their type is, they don't know what they need from a partner because they so busy concentrating on what their type is.
As I said earlier, all that is just the physical on the pavement, skin to skin. All that is not important. What is important is the person, not the physical, is the person.
For sure. But some people, a lot of people are so shallow that that's what's important to them. It's not about the person. They can't find the person that they need or what they truly want because they're so wrapped up in aesthetics and physicalities. And just like we were saying last week and a couple of other times in other episodes, what we are attracted to physically and what our type is, most of that is to have like a social status, to be popular amongst our peers. It looks good for a woman to have a tall, dark man because people gonna be like, "Ooh, like you know, we get talks when that's the thing." And a lot of people want to be socially accepted. I'm the opposite. I give no fucks. Like, don't accept me. I'm an oddball. Like, it's just never been a thing for me. So when it comes to physical aesthetics, society, first of all, has like the beauty standards all out of whack. Like, it's ridiculous. There's so much to be said about that. So for the man, if a man wants a woman that is thick, I remember back in the days, in the early 90s, boobs was a thing. Guys are not into boobs anymore. That's a lot.
I still like them. You're muted, by the way, but I still like them, and there's other parts of the body.
When you're talking, so it won't be feedback.
Oh, okay. I mean, like I said, what kind of men you be talking to? I still hear men talk about how much they love boobs to this day. I'm one of them, but there's other parts of the body that I still admire.
I feel you, but for the most part, because of how society has programmed us, a lot of men are not into boobs anymore. They're really fixated on butts because the way society has made butts a big, and I think it came with Sir Mix-a-Lot, came out with Baby Got Back. That transitioned a lot of men from being boob men to butt men. But that's just
real. I think the real feels differently. He said, "I maybe come up here." Men love breasts. Agreed, we do. We love butts too, but still,
Of course. Who will go against that? Oh
Yeah, some
boy.
men like legs. I like the whole female anatomy. I like the breasts. I like the butt. I love the legs, and I love the feet too. Yes, I have a toe fetish. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Oh, y'all getting into all the doggone aesthetics of a woman. Okay. Okay, so I'm a switch gears just a little bit. What physically is the most appealing thing, and just physically speaking, the most
I
pleasing
can't believe I
thing
just heard this.
um about a woman? Like is physically what's more appeasing or pleasing for you to see?
I wouldn't be able to tell you because, like I said, I love the whole female form. I'm not gonna just pick one body part and stick with it. No, I need the whole thing, upper body and lower body. Like I said, I love me some legs, I love me some hips, and I love me some beautifully pedicured toes. So don't ask me to choose, please don't. I'm not gonna choose.
I understand. Thank you. I want to give honor to the person that has just joined the panel.
Conrad
Conrad,
from
how
the
are
Real
you,
Real.
darling? It's been
I'm
a
good,
little
my
minute.
dear. How
It's
you
so
doing?
great to see you again.
How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful. Tonight we are talking about what our type is, our desire, and our needs. That they should, in my opinion, they should be the same thing. One, in a sense, working in harmony with one another. We've discussed how when a person focuses on just what their physical type is, a lot of times we don't get what we need or what we desire in a partner or a mate when we lead with what our type is, being physical
C
attributes.
Rad, what's up, baby?
What's going on, brother?
So what say you about that topic? I want to ask you, what is your type? I know you are married, correct?
yeah. I would say I, it's funny enough because I don't know why I was thinking about this earlier today. So clearly I was gonna be here tonight. The energy was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be over here. But no, but like really and truly, I would say, I mean, whether it's in my marriage or outside of it overall, I would say it's more about what the package is, right? And it's not about necessarily about butt or breast. Like if I was to pick aesthetics, I like a balance. I like a balance of breasts, hips, and thighs. I agree with my brother because there's something about a woman who has French manicure pedicure toes that sets. It's almost like if you were to say sets the table right, it helps to set the table right. Her nails and that aesthetic, so it helps to set the table right. And I'm an '84 baby, so like we don't like whatever this generation is on. I'm sorry to say it, but like we don't play about a woman in that regards, right? Like I think a hustler, you know, let me know. Hopefully, I'm not out here by myself. Jamal, I would say, hopefully, I said the same thing. Is that like we probably come from a generation, and I don't want to speak for the brothers again, but I just assume that we come from a generation when it's just like we didn't necessarily. It wasn't just about okay, who's gonna blow who's back out. It's like this is gonna be an experience. How much time in your night have you cleared? Like it's not gonna be no, oh, I'm gonna make you scream my name and nothing like that. No, 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 this is about to be an experience, and we're gonna have a very enjoyable experience, and I hope you have more time than you allotted for. So it's not just about the bodily, the bodily aesthetics. It's also about her mind, her presence, because and I think one thing that this generation has done for a lot of women in terms of leading them wrong with trying to think about what a man wants or what a man is attracted to is forgetting that we men like a set table. And I say that as a metaphor to say that I don't want you to be here bodily and your mind is not here either. Does that make sense? Is that I hope that makes sense for everybody.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. When it comes to your type, would you say your type and your desires and your needs when it comes to a partner and a mate are the same thing? Do they work in harmony, or were they separate and you had to get to a place in life um, to where they began to work in harmony? Where did that change for you? Or did it
Um,
change? Or have you always
no,
been
it did it no, it changed. It changed. I probably say around phew, I would probably say around 23 it changed because um if I could use this word, it was about symbiosis, right? Like I just described, it was about the experience of melding together. Um, I mean, I mean, I don't know why my mom did this. She let me. She didn't know what she was getting into when she did this. But my mom got me my first radio, and I used to listen to 93.7 WBLK out of Buffalo. It was a radio station, and that radio station from about like 8:30, 9 o'clock every evening, Monday through Friday. Well, yeah, Monday through Friday, it had something called the Quiet Storm, and it wasn't like that, that bop bop music. It was that like that Motown, that deep Teddy Pendergrass, and I'm like talking about I'm listening to this every week from Monday to Friday from literally 9 p.m. to like 5 o'clock in the morning. Teddy, the OJs, all these brothers talking about the experience. So as I grew, it wasn't necessarily just about what she looked like. Yeah, that was part of the equation. Her mind was part of the equation. But as we were coming to, it was like, what are we gonna? What is the paint? What is the paint? What canvas are we painting on right now? Like what are we about to create? And so, in having those types of conversations, it actually let me know that I actually connected with somebody who understood me describing this type of situation. If I ask her that question, like, what will be like, how are we gonna, how are we gonna do this tonight? And they were like, oh, that's a weird question. Ain't nobody ever asked me that before. Usually, the guy takes charge. I know that that's not my type because you're used to just being, you can be ragdolled and you're fine. That's not a connection. That might do it for you in the moment because you just want temporary satisfaction. But what I was looking for was the experience because the songs set in my mind that it should be an experience that leaves her thinking, what happened there? Like that was different. It's like I traveled somewhere different. So my from my experience, especially being that way from when I was young, hearing these songs, kind of taking them in, by the time I got to my 20s, I knew that I was looking for a meeting of the both. And it had some really great experiences, really and truly. I probably say hands down, though, if I'm being honest, I only met one woman that actually understood that. One woman out
wow?
of
That
yeah.
that
And
is
that was
really
from
really
my
something.
yeah, no, go ahead.
I want to stop you for a
That's
moment.
deep.
I want to give honor to if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's OG that has joined the panel. I told you I can't see. I'm so sorry. So I'm not sure, but thank you for being up here. It's so good to see you again, darling.
Oh, you're
Yes,
welcome. It's me. It's me.
I thought that was you. Okay, cool.
Nice to see you.
Um,
Let me say
I'm
this
gonna let
real
you
quick.
speak in just a minute. I want to expound on something Conrad just said. It's really interesting that you had that experience in your younger 20s and as a teenager. And I think that's the difference in between R&B lovers and people that listen to, I'm not going to say just rap music, but I'm going to say different kinds of music, because when it comes to rap, when it comes to country music and reggae, they have a certain frequency that is usually more loving and more gentle, romantic, that sets an energy for love and love making, that is really soft and sweet. So it's interesting that you had that experience, especially with the kind of music that you were listening to, and putting that into what your type and what your needs and your desires were, working in harmony. That is very rare. Most men, young, especially young men, don't really operate in that fashion. So kudos to you for that. I want to hear from Miss OG Patrice, because if I'm not mistaken, you popped up early, and I guess you had to go for a while, but I'm glad you're back, darling. Talk to us. What's on your mind?
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Yeah, it was just I just thought I'd give it a little bit more female energy and balance up here with the three
Love you,
men that's on
OG.
the. I love you too, with the men that's on the panel. So I was listening in the chat, for a while, because I like to kind of get everybody's perception. And speaking of the young man Conrad, he grew up in an era of time where songs had substance. So that's
Did.
why he had a more mature frame of mind about what he wanted, what he needed in a woman, the qualities, the type, and all of that, because he grew up in the era where lyrics had substance, they meant something, and majority of those artists talked about love. These songs don't talk about love anymore. You know what I mean?
They
They
really
talk
don't.
about this. Yeah, they talk about disrespecting each other, and in a sexual way. It's in a negative connotation. So it's not actually about love. It's just saying, I just want to hit it and quit it, or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's on both sides. So I think that, and I raised my son the same way. He grew up on the old school music, and they are just a different breed of how they have experienced being in relationships and marriages, if that makes sense.
It does. But I do have a question. Now, you talked about hip hop songs were different. I agree. And to Conrad's point, yes, we are from the same generation. I'm also born in 1984. So yeah, we are both millennials. Shout out to the millennials and the
Mhm.
Gen that ran so we could walk. Yep.
That's
I come
what's
from
up.
that generation.
Exactly.
Yeah, back when music had substance. Now this begs the question. Talk about nowadays, rapper talks about nothing but having sex, hitting and quitting it. Well, don't you think that the rap we grew up with started this whole stuff? For example, NWA, Too Short, Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Eazy-E. Didn't they start this shit back in the 80s and 90s? So
It
now,
later shifted absolutely in the 90s, but I grew up in the era of when you had a rapper that even talked about love. Could nobody do it better than LL when he came out with I Need Love? Every woman fell in love with LL and
LL,
been in love with him ever since that song.
yep,
So
LL.
when you have a rapper talking, you don't have rappers talking about love anymore.
I mean, to
Not
be
even
fair,
rappers.
LL Cool J was not so much a gangster rapper. Man, this was the 80s and 90s. Back then, you had to be no gangster from the streets just to sell records. LL Cool J, MC Hammer, Will Smith, aka the Fresh Prince. They weren't gangster
Hmm.
rappers, all around good
They
men who had
weren't.
in the streets, life that they grew up
Absolutely.
in. So you didn't have
And
to
Well,
they
be
well,
no
had great
let me
success
say
when
this, guys.
gangster rap changed the narrative.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just getting ready to say that. So the thing is, rapping and hip hop was totally different. It didn't become until gangster rap until certain folks realized how they could exploit us and all of that. We're not gonna get into that. I want to ask Miss OG Patrice, um, what is your type? Do you have a type?
As I gotten older, my way of what a type was when I was younger ain't the same anymore. And I think if you are older and mature, I think it changes for men and women, right? Like I used to have all the check boxes. Yep, he got to be 6 feet and taller. Check. He got to, be this. Check. He got to be that. And it's not so much of that now as I've gotten older, because as I've experienced those type of relationships, and now deciding to go more with the substance of a man instead of, he tall, girl. That mean he gotta be, he fine, he gotta be. Nah, I ain't there no more. I'm with about the substance of a man, how he treats me, how he loves on me, how he respects me, how he values me, in my opinion, and I give that in return, right? But when you're younger, 20s and 30s, your priorities are not necessarily there all the time. And I know that mine wasn't in the moment, because I done had them all, from the wealthy men to the drug dealer to the, whatever. I done had my experience with multiple types. So throughout my life, but once I hit 40 plus, it's like, I'm over. He got to look like this. He got to be this tall. He got to make this much money. Nah. Your
Agreed.
priorities change as you get older.
Yeah, by the
And
time
if
you
they don't, something is wrong. Because if you still doing the same thing and expecting different results, nah, you ain't grew up yet. You ain't matured.
absolutely.
So
It's the same thing as we get older, a big button of smiles not enough to impress us anymore. Like that song, "Don't Trust a Big Button to Smile, That Girl's Poison." As you get older, that stuff isn't
Exactly.
anymore.
what I am
Yeah,
realizing, let's pause for a second. What I am realizing is, all throughout everybody that has spoken, each one of us has said, in our life experiences, the older we've gotten, the more things have changed. So it's safe to say that as we grow and as we evolve, we realize what's important for a mate. And that's when, with maturity, that's how your desires and your wants and your needs become one and work in harmony with one another. For me, it was a little bit different because I was always an emotionally needy person. So even as a young woman, as a teenager, 16, 17, 18, I never wanted a guy that quote unquote looked good. I needed somebody that I could talk to. And I actually got teased for that, because they used to be like, girl, you need to get somebody with some money, and he ain't bought you nothing, and you ain't went on all that. I needed somebody to be nice to me. That's really all I needed. I wanted somebody that was nice, somebody that I could talk to, and somebody that I could feel safe with, even as a young woman. And boy, did I get cracked on, but they drugged my ass. But
I can't imagine. I mean,
it
come
was
on.
horrible.
Yeah,
And
gold
not
digger
only that, but
culture.
I was saying earlier how I chose people that wasn't necessarily pleasing to the eye for other people. Like, I was known for dating ugly boys. Like, yeah, she date ugly boys, but they had. I look at the person from the inside out. I've never been a superficial being. It just it wasn't a thing for me. I've always needed substance. And so, in one way or another, I've always gotten what I need from a relationship. But the older and the more mature I got, the more I got what I needed, and the more substance, as far as healthy relationships. Because I was getting what I needed, but it wasn't always healthy and things like that. Um, I don't want to stay on too much longer because we've pretty much said everything.
Well, let me add this in here real quick about the hip hop stuff. And earlier I said that, let me just say this. Say what you will about the music we grew up with that was dirty, filthy, and a bit derogatory. Again, the aforementioned Too Short, Snoop Doggy Dogg, NWA. But let's be honest here. Those songs had flair and they had entertainment value. I mean, come on, who wasn't in middle school dancing to Crucial Conflict when they first came out in '96? Seriously, who wasn't dancing to P Diddy? Well, before we didn't know what we know now about the man. back when they was in middle school and high school. Come on now, Puffy, Mace, the Law. Who wasn't dancing to that stuff? Yes, it was dirty hip hop with cursing, but it had flair. And who wasn't gushing over Lil Kim, who started this whole sexualization of hip hop back in the mid-90s? Come on now. We started
Yeah,
this
that's
shit.
But that's the thing
Right.
we spoke about earlier. I said that a lot of times we use relationships as entertainment and we don't know that we need substance and how to get what we need. And so when we just looking at a relationship for entertainment, then of course it's going to be something that's physically pleasing to us and makes us feel good. But exactly how long can you be entertained? A song don't last no more than 5 minutes unless you got an extended version. Like
That's true.
the Secret Garden and Moments of Love and probably what's that other song?
yeah, I
I
love
forget the
Secret
name of
Garden.
the young lady that sing Here I Sit Outside Your Door. Like, but most songs are not over 10 minutes long. So in the same that the entertainment and the fun of a song only lasting so long, when we enter into relationships that only make us feel good, how long is that feeling gonna last? And so it still goes back to our type and our desires and our needs need to be working as one in harmony with one another. Because if not, is we just gonna have something that's entertaining for a short while and then we're gonna be complaining about why the relationship didn't last and moving on to something else that ain't gonna last either, because we haven't taken the time to figure out that, hey, we're what we need and what we desire is not working in harmony with one another. I don't even know what I have asked plenty of people what they need from a partner, and they be like, or they'll say what they need and it's like, okay, why you not getting what you need? And most of the time it's because they focused on what their type is. We got to stop leading with what's physically attractive to us if we want our desires and our needs to work in harmony with one another. um I'm gonna
Well, let
let
me ask
y'all
this
speak.
question. Yeah. Now, do
one
y'all
second
think that
one
back?
second sweetheart, one
Okay,
second.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I am going to allow everybody to we're going to do our rounds and lead into our final thoughts. So we're going to do some add-ons, do our final thoughts, and then we're going to wrap this thing on up. Let's see. That's what order can we go in? Let's go around the board. So we'll do Conrad. We'll do, what's your name again, sweetheart? The Hustler.
Hustler in muscular,
Hustler
aka
and
H.
muscular, yeah. Okay. You see me getting close to the screen trying to read. So we're gonna do Conrad, then you Hustler and muscular, Miss OG
Ma'am.
Patrice, and then I will end with my final thoughts. And keep in mind that we are talking about your type, your desires, and your needs working together in harmony. Let's get it, y'all.
And by the way, please get some new glasses so you can see us beautiful people.
Well, the thing is, I'm nearsighted or I'm farsighted, so I can see close up. I've never had a problem seeing my screen before today. I don't know what it is. I have glasses. My glasses work just fine, but I don't need glasses to see
Oh,
up close. Y'all actually up close. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on with my eyesight today, but if I was to put my glasses on, y'all would really be blurry because I only need them to see things far away. But
well,
I
to be
appreciate it
fair,
though.
I'm the same way. I can't see far away, but I can see up close. I'm the same way. I wear glasses too, as you can see. I ain't judging because I wear glasses too.
I got contact lenses in, so hey, we all glassing it up in some way or another. I'll probably say my final thoughts are just as we talk about type, desire, needs, and I would say especially for us brothers, um, we've got to. It would benefit us to make sure that we're looking for a balance of those. Um, and the reason why I say that is because looks pretty much bring both of us to the table. Conversation lays the foundation for the spread of the course that we intellectually are about to take part of. And I would say it would benefit us as especially as brothers to explore the intellectual capabilities of a woman that we know is attractive before we start eating the food, or in other words, exploring her canvas. And the reason why I say that is because oftentimes after you have explored, you find out that the intellectual capabilities of the individual will not take you into the areas that you need, right? If you desire somebody who understands that, the bubble bath and the foot rub and whatnot, as though even though it comforts me physically, it does something for me that heals me and unlocks me. If me and you can talk about that, then we've already connected, because then there's a level of understanding. And so what we do is we don't continue to talk to each other. We talk with each other. And so as we explore that, brothers, I would say it'll help us to weed out maybe what is our, as we say, our type physically, or what attracts us physically, but is not our type emotionally, sensually, and mentally. For the sisters, I would say in turn, some of those things that I've mentioned are the same thing. You need a conversation that can take you to a place that will say, okay, after we've talked about it, can we paint the canvas? That canvas is not just, we're not talking about necessarily just sex. That canvas is now life, because most women, in my opinion, they've come to this table, no matter how high it is, no matter how wide it is, and they want to know if there's life there. And so your conversation is a little bit different, because you need to know if life is there, and if life can be sustained long term. And the level of the conversation that's going to be had, and this generation has done a really great job of removing that depth of conversation. But brothers, it's on us to bring it back, and by way of that, we will all get to a better place of finding within what is our type physically, if mentally, emotionally, and sensually, are you my type? And I think those are the areas that we miss on, and that's where I'll land with that.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate your wisdom so much. Huscular and muscular, let's get it.
Yeah, I just want to say I kind of agree with the man with the gentleman above me, because you could say I had that problem when I was in my teens and 20s. Yes, I'll chase females who are my type physically, sexually, maybe in respectfully towards each other, but I knew as a wife we would not work out. Because have y'all ever met people, and anybody can answer this question, but have y'all ever met someone of the opposite sex that y'all get along with, you're attracted to each other, you like you may even smashed every now and then, but you know deep down in your heart and soul, if this person was your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, it will fall apart completely. So you got to keep them people in their lanes. That's something I had to come to understand when I was younger. Some people, and this goes for y'all ladies too, some of the men y'all mess with, keep them in their own lane. If he's just an F boy, let him stay there. If he's a friends of benefits, let him stay there. It's sad but true, as Metallica would say. Sad but true. Same thing with men. If she's an F girl or a friends of benefits, keep her in that lane. Because when y'all get into a relationship, you're going to find out some things about this person you never knew were true or probably didn't like. I got a homeboy that learned that the hard way himself, tried to turn her friends of benefits into a girlfriend. It didn't end well. It wasn't the worst thing he's ever experienced, but it didn't end well for him. She didn't like his habits. He didn't like her habits. So, yeah, it is what it is. You got to learn how to stay in your lane and keep the people you deal with in their lane. I learned that in my teens and 20s. So, yeah, because I had the abundance mindset where I like OG Patrice, but guess what? You're the only female I'm talking to. And I know you got a roster too. That's the mindset I moved with, and I continue to move with that. It worked for me for the most part. Does that mean smash everybody? No. Don't do that. Please don't do that. No. Respect yourself, enough dignity not to have enough dignity to control your PP or your for JJ. And I'll land with that. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me, sweetheart. It's been a pleasure having you. I don't think this is our first time meeting. It's just been a while. I appreciate you. There's so much to be said there, but we're going to keep it moving. Oh, gee, Patrice, let me hear your thoughts, darling.
Oh, yeah. Both of those gentlemen had some excellent points, and I would agree with both of their sentiments. And I think that even as they get older and even more mature, it's going to continuously shift. I think when I look now at what social media, what reality TV have brought into the minds of the younger generation, just seeing that even when you watch these reality TV shows and these people are getting married, it ain't even working for them. And it's very bad. And for some reason, we tend to want to mirror what we see. And social media has kind of destroyed that a lot for the younger generation because it's a lot of superficial mindsets. It's a lot of toxicity there. And so we choose to pick people what we see other people picking, what he got to have a bag and he got to this and that. And a lot of, and for males and females, and a lot of times just because they look good on the outside don't mean they good on the inside. And like my mama used to tell me, everything that look good to you ain't good for you. So, and you will learn these lessons as you mature. But in a lot of ways, I see how a lot of the younger generation are destroying themselves or are being delusional about what they want and versus they type. For me, as I've gotten older, like I said, my motto now is to love who loves me more. Because if you get a person that loves you more, you have what you need because they're going to give you everything you need and desire because they love you enough to want you to have it or see you with it. So that's kind of where I am now in my life. I am also and always have been a sapiosexual person. Even when I was younger, I was always attracted to someone that was intelligent. That's what a sapiosexual person is. You're drawn and you're attracted to an intellectual person, a very smart, intelligent person that can hold an intellectual, stimulating conversation. That's always been me. So I always low key dated the guys that they called the nerds or whatever in high school, or the geeks. I did it low key because I was very popular in school and I didn't want everybody else to know I was dating that type of guy. So I would front with another type of, but now it's like you get older, I don't care. So I would tell people you really got to be true to yourself. And you got to say, what I've been doing, like Sis Galaxy said, have not been working for me. Now I need to change this narrative and not just go for the type of person I am, but go for I want or attracted to, but go for what I desire to have in that person and in that relationship. And then I think you're on to something. So I'll land the plane there.
Ashe, thank you so much for your wisdom and your input, darling. I appreciate you so much. It was so good to see you again. Shout out to Dark Lake that is in the chat commenting. It is nice to see you, darling. It's been a little minute. We are finishing up this evening talking about your type, your desires, and your needs being one, working in harmony with one another. My final thoughts are, I think I'm just going to reiterate some of the things that I've spoken about. For me, your type, your desire, and your need for a mate should be the same thing. It should not be different. if you have a type and what your type and what your need is different, then it's not working in harmony, and most likely you're not going to receive what you need. So with that being said, let your type, your desire, and your need be the same thing working in harmony so that you can have a prosperous, beautiful, healthy relationship that flourishes, that you grow and you can receive everything that you need. And a lot of times, as we've all said, like we've all had the same experiences, that comes with maturity. The older we get, they say the more you know, the more you grow. And that is absolutely true. So it's okay if you don't have it together right now. As long as we are working towards being the best us and having the best possible fruitful life, then it's all good. But love yourself, one another, pick healthy partners, make wise decisions. Don't be shallow and narrow minded, because look, you're not going to get what you need and what you desire if you are just thinking about physical attributes and what you are attracted to. It's not going to work in harmony as one with your needs and your desires. I am Galaxy Venus. This is the Eccentric Erotic Podcast. One love, much love, all the time. I will see you guys next week on the next episode. Peace.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank y'all so much for joining.
Decide what you want, and then I will make it real indeed. Don't say time to go. No, I know you got some to spare. We've been fighting feelings. To the moon. Into orbit. Oh, send me